What do you want to tell me about mental illness?
It needs more awareness. Definitely needs more awareness.
What are your issues or that you've experienced with mental illness?
Suffer from depression, from PTSD, and from anxiety. I feel like mostly everybody has experienced anxiety at some point or another, depending on what they're going through in life. They might not know what to call it. The young ones, I think, are more, I have anxiety. But, until you have that elephant sitting on your chest and you have that energy just closing off your throat, you don't really know what it is when you have to gasp for air and there's nothing holding you back and it's just you in the air and you're just like, and you just like, I just want to breathe, and you just can't breathe. And, when people tell you, oh, just get over it or just get through it, it's like, well, I would if I could. Give me the tools to get through it. And they're tools that you have to learn. They're tools that you have, you've got to manifest. You've got to know how to use. Because even when you have the tools, how do I use them? When do I use them? How do I use them when I'm frozen and I feel like I'm being choked by some other entity that's from another world, but I'm in this world and I'm in this present and I'm dying in this moment.
So what skills have you learned to help you through those issues?
For me, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes that works. I learned, I was in a mental hospital 2 years ago, and I learned a couple coping mechanisms. It's 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can smell, 2 things you can touch, and 1 thing you can taste. And that's supposed to bring you back in the present. However, when you're in the middle of Walmart and you've got a million people around and you're one of those people that's like me, like, you're in my bubble and your bubble just so happens to be 12 feet wide, like, it doesn't work for me. On that aspect, if I'm at home, it'll work for me because I'm in the comfort of my own home. If I'm at Walmart, I'll stop and cry and I'll call somebody. I've yet to master that myself. So, I've learned you dig your fingers in your palms because you're not gonna hurt yourself that way. It's just gonna bring you back to reality. Like, okay, I gotta get from here to the toilet paper to the milk and eggs back to the register. So take a deep breath and then kind of make it like I started to try and make it like a game, like that old like 80s and 90s game where you're going through the store like, I gotta grab this and I gotta grab this and I gotta make it to the checkout before I go outside, and then remember to pay.
Definitely.
Because sometimes the line, people don't understand boundaries and just right up on the ankle. Like, if you don't step back, I'm gonna backhand you. So just, everyday stuff that goes through my head, but making it through the day. So those are just 3 that work for me.
What would you tell someone who is afraid to see a therapist?
I've been going to therapists since I was 6, on and off. And I say on and off, it's mainly off. I say about 95% off. And then I met, my daughter ended up in the hospital, and our insurance is really good. And they set us up with this lady, and she was phenomenal. And I was like, hey, I know you're seeing my daughter, but can you see me too? And she was like, yeah. And people say you have to search for the right one, and you do, because there's a lot of shitty people out there. And people that don't care, people that are time watchers. After I got out the hospital, my very first therapist was a time watcher. It was. I was like, are you serious? Like, are you going to help me at all? My second lady I felt she was very pompous. She was very, at first she seemed real down to earth and cool, and I'm like, okay, she might be able to help me. But there was a session, she had me do an assignment about what I wanted out of the therapy. I gave her 4 pages. I said I'm gonna come back with 8. I came back with 4, but it was front and back, so technically it was 8. I came in, I was having a wonderful day one time, and I said, I got nothing. It is a fantastic day. And this lady sat at the edge of her seat, crossed her legs, her little teacup, and just, I was like, okay, so we're gonna talk? And she was like, I'm just waiting on you. I'm like, well, I just told you I'm having a fantastic day. I gave you a 4-page list of things I wanted to work through. So if I'm having a fantastic day, isn't it your job to pull out the list and see what I want to work on? Why do I know this? She's the one getting paid. So, so you have to find who you feel your energy is going to blend with, and someone you feel is going to help you work through the issues that you want to work through, but you have to be ready to work. Because if you're not ready to work, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of insurance, it's a waste of time, and time is money in my eyes. That's not something I used to live by, but it is something I live by now. If you're taking my time, you're taking my money, which means you're taking food out of my children's mouth.